McBride! Oh, yeah! Series. Maxey floats it up and in.
Banks it home. And you get the feeling that Kawhi Leonard.
Nothing hits harder than silence, especially when it comes after 20,000 fans were just screaming their lungs out. In the NBA, some players don't just score. They shut cities down. One shot, one dunk, one cold-blooded move, and the arena goes from chaos to a funeral. These are the moments where hype meets heartbreak, where the visitor silences the home crowd so thoroughly, it feels like the soul just left the building. It starts with Damian Lillard, Game 5, 2019 playoffs. Paul George draped all over him, 37 feet out, tie game. The Blazers' season hanging in the balance. Dame waves goodbye, not just to the Thunder, but to their fans. That step-back three wasn't just the end of the game, it was the end of an era. That crowd noise? Gone in an instant. That's how legends are made, not just for hitting the shot, but for making everyone watching forget how to breathe. That silence in Oklahoma City didn't last seconds. It lasted days. People walked out in shock, like they had just witnessed a moment too perfect to be real. Then there's Kawhi Leonard in Toronto. Game 7 against the Sixers, clock winding down, 4 bounces on the rim, the entire arena frozen in time, and then swish! Dead silence. Even at home, the air was so thick you could feel the pressure collapse. But imagine being on the other side. Joel Embiid didn't just lose a game, he lost a piece of himself that night. The silence wasn't from celebration, it was from disbelief. It wasn't supposed to go in, but it did. That moment echoed across the league. It showed that ice in your veins could melt an entire crowd. We can't talk crowd silencers without mentioning Steph Curry. When he pulls up from 35 feet in Oklahoma City with seconds left in overtime, that wasn't just a regular season game. That was the moment people realized gravity had a new name. Steph didn't just shoot the ball. He sank the whole arena. Thunder fans looked like ghosts. You could see them mouthing, "No way," before the ball even dropped. And when it did, Steph just turned and jogged off. No taunt, no scream, just ice. That's what makes him lethal. He kills you with calm. But sometimes it's not the stars. Sometimes it's the unexpected. Like when rookie Anthony Edwards caught a body so violently, the defender's entire career flashed before his eyes. The dunk was so loud the reaction was mute. Fans couldn't even process what they saw. That's the power of the coldest crowd silencers. They make time stop. It's like the universe pauses to say, did that really just happen? And all anyone can do is stand in silence and nod. Think about LeBron in Boston, Eastern Conference Finals. The Celtics are up, the crowd is loud, and then LeBron turns into a villain, dunking, blocking, draining fadeaways. By the second half, fans weren't booing anymore. They were just stunned. That's how you silence a crowd. You drain the life out of them, play by play. He didn't just win that night, he dominated their hope. He shut them up not with one shot, but with an entire performance. And how about Ja Morant? You'd think his high-flying game would ignite crowds, not quiet them. But when he posterizes a 7-footer and lands with that stone-cold stare, it's not hype, it's humiliation. You can feel the building deflate, like someone cut the wires on the speakers. The crowd can't even scream. They're too busy trying to understand what just happened. That's when you know the play was something special. When people go silent, not out of respect, but out of shock. Even Michael Jordan had his moments. The shrug game in the finals wasn't just about making 6 threes and a half. It was the moment Portland fans knew they were witnessing something untouchable. You can't cheer against destiny. And when MJ hit that shot against the Cavs over Elo, silence. Not one Cavs fan could speak. The building collapsed emotionally. The entire city knew, in that second, there was nothing they could do. That's what Jordan did. He didn't just win, he erased hope. And let's not forget Kyrie Irving. 2016 Finals, Game 7, final minute, 3-pointer over Steph Curry. The Warriors crowd, roaring all night, hit mute. No screams, no chants, just disbelief. One of the loudest fan bases in NBA history, quieted by one flick of the wrist. That's ice, that's timing, that's clutch. In that moment, Kyrie didn't just take the shot, he stole the sound from the Bay Area. But some moments live on not because they happened in big games, but because they were so outrageous the crowd didn't even know how to react. Vince Carter in the early 2000s had a habit of doing things no human had done before. Windmills in traffic, reverses over 7-footers, in hostile arenas. When he dunked over Frederick Weiss in the Olympics, the French crowd was so stunned, they didn't even boo. They just sat down. It was the dunk heard round the world in total silence. Even Kobe Bryant had his silencing moments. Game winners in Memphis, Portland, Miami, all followed by that iconic snarl or fist pump. But the real silence came when he ripped the heart out of your team and didn't celebrate. Just jogged back like it was a Tuesday. That kind of cold makes arenas go quiet before the ball even swishes. They know what's coming. They just can't stop it. Derrick Rose in his prime had that too. The bank shot buzzer beater over the Cavs in the 2015 playoffs? United Center exploded, but if that had happened in Cleveland, it would have felt like time stopped. When D. Rose floated through the air, twisted midair, and banked it in, fans didn't even have time to be mad. That's a real silencer. Not the roar after, but the hush before. Ray Allen's Game 6-3 in the 2013 finals? It was in Miami. But imagine being a Spurs fan watching that happen. You're seconds away from winning a championship, already inching towards celebration. And then, silence. No words, just heartbreak. That one shot didn't just tie the game. It erased dreams. Crowd silencers aren't just moments. They're shifts in energy, the kind you remember for decades. They take place in enemy territory. They echo louder than any dunk or buzzer beater at home. Because when you can shut up thousands of screaming fans with a single move, you've reached a whole different level of greatness. For more cold-blooded NBA moments, keep watching Dribbler Dunker. And if you felt the silence too, don't forget to subscribe to Dribbler Dunker for more.